You've spent years thinking something is wrong with you. Everyone else chooses one path, one dream, while you keep changing. Teachers, parents, everyone says, pick one thing. You tried, but that restless pull never left, and it made you feel broken. Here's the truth no one told you. That feeling isn't failure. It's a signal. You were never meant for just one thing. You know that feeling when you are really into something. Like really into it. You cannot sleep. You watch videos about it. You think about it all day. And then, one day, it just stops. The fire goes out. And a new thing lights up instead. And you think, what is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this? But here is the thing. You are not the only one. Millions of people feel this exact same way every single day. They just do not talk about it out loud. Because they think it means they are broken. But someone finally studied why this happens. And what they found changes everything about how you see yourself. There is a reason this keeps happening to you. And it is not a flaw. It is actually a signal. A very specific signal. And once you understand what it means, you will never look at your life the same way again. So scientists gave this kind of mind a name. They called these people multipotentialites. Big word. Simple idea. It just means your brain is built to explore many things. Not one, many. And here is the important part. Your brain does not get bored because you are lazy. It gets bored because it already learned what it needed from that thing. Think about it like a sponge. You dip it in water. It soaks up everything fast. Then it is full. So it needs new water. That is your brain. Every single interest you ever chased, it was not a waste. It was your brain collecting something useful. A skill. A lesson. A piece of a bigger puzzle. You just could not see the picture yet. But the pieces were always there. Stacking up. Building something. And here is what nobody told you about that puzzle. It is worth a lot more than one single piece ever could be. But only if you know how to put it together right. For the last 100 years, the world had one rule. Pick one thing. Stick with it. Forever. And if you did not, you were called unfocused. Unstable. Someone who could not make up their mind. Schools taught it. Parents said it. The whole system was built around it. One skill. One job. One life. And people like you? You were told you were doing it wrong. But here is something nobody tells you. That rule was never about what was best for you. It was about what was easiest for the system. The system wanted predictable people. People who would stay in one lane. And it punished everyone who did not fit. But that system is breaking right now. Right this second. The rules are changing. And the people who were punished for having too many interests. They are about to become the most important people in the room. But why is this happening now? What changed? That is the part that will make you sit up and pay attention. Have you ever heard of the M-shaped economy? Probably not. Most people have not. But it is one of the most important ideas about the future of money and jobs. Picture the letter M. Two tall peaks. A dip in the middle. Two valleys on the sides. That shape is not just a letter. It is a map of where money is going. The middle of that M is where most people used to live. Safe jobs. Steady pay. A normal life. But that middle is shrinking. Getting smaller every year. And the two peaks at the top. That is where the winners are moving. And here is the wild part. The people climbing to those peaks are not just the rich ones. They are not just the super smart ones. They are people who learned how to mix skills from totally different worlds. People exactly like you. But knowing this is not enough. You need to know how to actually climb. And that starts with understanding one simple idea that most people completely miss. Here is the big mistake. The one thing that keeps almost every person like you from moving forward. And it is not laziness. It is not being dumb. It is not bad luck. It is something sneaky. Most people with many interests do one thing. They wait. They sit and think. They say, okay, I need to figure out my one thing first. Then I will start. So they wait. And they wait. And they keep adding new interests to the list. But the thing they are waiting for never comes. Not the way they expect. Because here is the secret. You do not need to figure everything out before you start. The people who are winning right now did not have all the answers first. They started before they were ready. They moved before the picture was clear. Waiting is not the safe choice. Waiting is actually the most dangerous thing you can do right now. And here is exactly why that is true. So how do you actually use all your interests instead of just collecting them? The answer is something called skill stacking. And it is simpler than it sounds. Skill stacking just means this. You take 2 or 3 of your interests, and you put them together, not side by side, on top of each other, like layers. Each layer adds something the others do not have. And when you stack them right, you create something nobody else has. Example. Say you like storytelling, and you like data, and you like health. Most people pick one, but you could become the person who uses data to tell health stories that actually change lives. That mix, that stack. Almost nobody does it, and the world needs it badly. Your scattered interests are not scattered at all. They are ingredients. And right now you are holding a recipe that almost nobody else can make. But there is one step you need to take first. A step that shows you exactly which ingredients to use. And it only takes 2 minutes. Here is a simple test you can do right now. No special tools. No big thinking. Just 2 minutes of honesty. Step 1. Write down every interest you have had in the last 2 years. Do not judge. Do not filter. Just write them all. Step 2. Next to each one, write one word. The word is what you actually enjoy doing inside that interest. Not watching it. Not thinking about it. Doing it. Maybe it is teaching. Maybe it is building. Maybe it is performing. Step 3. Now look at your list. Find the word that shows up more than once. That repeated word. That is your connector. That is the thread that ties your interests together. And that thread is the beginning of your stack. It does not have to be perfect right now. It just has to be real. You now have more clarity than you had 5 minutes ago. But finding your stack is only the first move. The next move is where things actually change. And most people never even know this move exists. You are not the first person to feel like this. Not even close. Leonardo da Vinci, artist, scientist, engineer, all at the same time. Steve Jobs, design, technology, music, film, all mixed together. These people were called geniuses. But they were not geniuses because they were magical. They were geniuses because they could see connections that other people missed. And they could only see those connections because they explored many worlds. Not one, many. Now think about that. Every time the world went through a huge change, the people who won were not the ones who stayed in one lane. They were the ones who crossed many lanes. The Industrial Revolution, the Internet, every big shift. The winners were the ones who could think across different fields. And we are in one of those big shifts right now. One of the biggest ever. The people who used to be called scattered and lost. They are about to become the ones everyone wishes they could be. But what is happening right now is even bigger than anything before. Everyone is scared of AI right now. People think it is going to take their jobs. And for some jobs, that is true. AI can learn one skill faster than any human. It can be a specialist in seconds. So if your whole career is built on one thing, AI is coming for it. But here is the twist. The one thing AI cannot do is think across totally different worlds at the same time. It cannot take a feeling from psychology and turn it into a business idea. It cannot look at a problem and see an answer from a different field. That is a human brain thing, and not just any human brain. It is specifically the kind of brain that explored many worlds. Your kind of brain. AI did not make you less valuable. It made you more valuable, but only if you know how to use what you have. And there is one more piece to this puzzle. The piece that turns everything into real results. And it is not talent. It is not luck. Let us be real for a second. You look at people your age, and it feels like they have it all figured out. They have a job, a direction, a clear path, and you feel like you are still wandering. And that feeling, that quiet shame, it has been sitting inside you for a long time. But I want you to look at it one more time, because it is lying to you. The people who look like they have it figured out, A lot of them are not happy. They picked one thing because someone told them to, not because it made them feel alive. You did not pick one thing because something inside you knew there was more. That is not being behind. That is being honest. That is your mind refusing to shrink into something it was not built to be. The M-shaped future does not reward people who settled early. It rewards the ones who kept searching, who kept collecting, who refused to stop. That is you. You were never behind. You were always early. Okay, so now you know why your mind works this way. You know the economy is shifting. You know skill stacking is real. But knowing is not enough. You need to actually move. Here are the 3 moves. Move 1. Collect without guilt. For the next few weeks, explore. But pay attention. When do you lose track of time? When does something feel so good you forget everything else? Write those moments down. Move 2. Connect the dots. Take your interests and find the overlaps. Use the 2-minute test. Find your connector word. Start seeing the pattern. Move 3. Create something small. Anything. A video. A post. A project. Something that mixes 2 or 3 of your skills together. It does not have to be good. It just has to exist. Because the moment you create something real, everything changes. You go from thinking about your future to building it. Most people never make it to move 3. They get stuck in move 1 forever. But if you do all 3 in order, something happens that most people never experience. Here is something that sounds wrong. But stay with me. In this new game, failing is not the opposite of winning. It is part of winning. Every single person who made it in the M-shaped economy failed first. But they did not fail the normal way. They failed in many different directions. And every failure taught them something. Something they could stack on top of everything else. In the old world, failure meant stop. Go back. Start over. But in this new world, failure means data. It means information. It means your brain just learned something new. So when you try something and it does not work, do not throw everything away. Ask yourself one question. What did this teach me that I can use somewhere else? That one question turns every failure into a building block. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to get it right the first time. You just need to keep stacking. And there is one final piece. The last thing that makes all of this actually work in real life. Here is the hardest truth. You will never feel ready. There will never be a moment where everything clicks and you think, yes. Now I know exactly what to do. That moment does not exist. And the people waiting for it, they are still waiting. The people actually winning right now. They started before they felt ready. They moved before the picture was clear. And that is the secret. Clarity does not come before you move. It comes from moving. Every small step teaches you something. Every action gives you more information than an hour of thinking ever could. You do not need to see the whole road. You just need to see the next step. Take it. Then look for the next one. That is the whole strategy. Not a perfect plan. Just the next step. Over and over again. And if you actually start moving today, something is going to happen to you. Something most people with your kind of mind never experience. And it is going to feel like everything finally clicking into place. Remember how we started. You thought something was wrong with you. You thought having too many interests meant you were lost. You carried that feeling for a long time. Maybe your whole life. But now you know the truth. You were never scattered. You were collecting. You were never unfocused. You were building. Every interest you ever chased was a piece. Every passion left something behind. A skill, a lesson, a tool. And all of those pieces, all of those tools, they have been waiting for you to put them together. The M-shaped future is not some faraway idea. It is here, right now. And it was built for people exactly like you. Not the ones who picked one thing and stayed forever. The ones who could not stop exploring. The ones who were told they were doing it wrong, but were actually doing it right. You do not need to become someone else. You just need to become more of who you are. You were never broken. You were just early. And now it is your time.